That's a hard question because I guess the memories begin because on October 9th is my birthday. So on my 21st birthday, we are having a very somber celebration of Marshall's 21st birthday, and so I've requested that I have a makeup 21st birthday on my next birthday, and so that's kind of the. And we were talking about the hurricane, and we're going, and we're like, oh, it's nothing gonna be bad. We'll just get the rest of the week off. So happy birthday, Marshall! So it's gonna be great. And then October 10th comes, and we get up early because like our body clocks are like, oh, up at 7 o'clock. And we're looking at the weather, and we're like, oh no, it's more than what we bargained for. And so we're there, and we're just essentially just waiting for it. That's all you can do because everything was closed. You couldn't leave. It was just like, all right, we're here. And we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're just trying to find things to entertain us. And then eventually the power goes out. And we're like, okay. And and then the storm arrives. And for me, I never once felt scared. I never felt like I was like today was Marshall's last day. It was a matter of fight or flight in a sense because our front doors blew open in the middle of the storm, which caused our back doors to begin to bow out. Now the front doors were much older than our back doors. So the back doors, they were French style, so they were much stronger. But the front doors, they blew open, and so right in front of me. So that was the fun part. Like, I got to see it just, wow, welcome, Michael. And and so the only response I knew is the doors had to be shut. And so I get up there and I'm attempting to shut the doors and I'm getting successful at it. And then, but as more of the hurricane is coming onto land, the winds they're getting far more powerful. And eventually, my cousin who lives up here and who is going Gulf Coast, she's helping me keep the door shut because there's a door and a door. We both have our assigned door, and my mother and my sister in the back, and we're trying to scream at each other through the loud wind. And in the middle of this, unknown to us, our part of our roof is ripped off, and we ended up losing 2 bedrooms as a result of it. And but this is all in the middle of us trying to keep the door shut. That was our only tasks that we knew that we had to do was keep the door shut. And eventually, we were in the process of also like changing beds out from one of the rooms. And so we still had bed frames that were in the middle of the hallway. So my cousin, she was like, let's use the bed frames to keep the door shut. And so that's what we ended up using. And it just, for a good hour, it just felt like someone was just constantly banging into the door because the doors, they couldn't stay shut. So we just put it as best we could, put the door frame, and just hearing that banging for the next hour. But the front doors are finally shut. And so then we could finally go and help my mother and my sister out keeping the back doors shut. And so eventually that excitement ends and we're just catching our breath. And hurricane finally is passed through and we're walking around the house. My sister and my cousin, whose bedrooms were lost, they go to their rooms and they try and save as much as they possibly can. And that became kind of the theme throughout the remainder of the time we were in the month of October was saving as much as we can because our living room it's an older style home and it was a sunken living room in Derby Woods, that's where I lived, flooded. So we had an indoor pool. So it was quite smelly for the next couple of days. So I became a carpet removal expert in that amount of time. And I could keep going. I remember at one point, because we lost water, and I'll never forget the very first warm shower I had at Miss Kirk's house. It made me truly appreciate running water. But before that, a little adventure my mother and I, we went, we after a long day of no AC and out in the yard and trying to clean up the house of what we can, we go to Deer Point Lake and we took a bath in Deer Point Lake. And my mother, she sees it, she's gonna be mortified. But she's like, Marshall, we need to be discreet. We don't want to get in trouble. We get there, people are shaving, people are having a ball of their time. It was, my mom, and we were like, and we were the civilized folks here at Deer Point, and so it was a little adventure that was a part of the journey of recovery. And so there's so much more just happened during that time, but I gave you a couple vivid memories that I have. So
what was when you look at your life now,
mm-hmm.
today, how is it different than it was before the storm? What's changed for you?
I think because I've lived through Hurricane Michael, in a sense, I have had a lot more appreciation to the life I hold dear, because we think of it as something so insignificant when, in a matter of a storm, can come and take it away, whether it be the storm itself or the destruction the storm causes that you're a part of. And I guess the lesson that I was learned was that I have a lot of life left to live, and I need to make the most of it, because it can be taken away in an instant. And so that's the lesson that I was learned, that before then, Marshall may have been a little scared to go on a roller coaster, but now Marshall wants to experience it, because that's a part of what life is about, is experiencing the treasures and the magic and the wonder that it has. And Hurricane Michael taught me that it can be taken away. And that's what I learned, is that I have to appreciate it, and I have to take those little adventures when they appear.